TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers.
You're now listening to Tough Tiger Talk with Big Q and the guys on the Pro Media Network.
27-24 is the final score in the season finale. Game with ups and downs. Ultimately, LSU came from behind to get a late touchdown to push themselves ahead. Lost the lead, gained the lead, won, beat Texas A&M, the number 15 ranked Texas A&M Aggies in Death Valley. A parting shot from Coach O to Jimbo Fisher, which is actually a good way to do that thing. So anyway, welcome to this installment of Tough Tiger Talk. Big ups to the fam. I'm Big Q chiming in. Tigers they were victorious 27-24, 2-game winning streak on the back end of the season gets the Tigers to 500. They're 6-6, 3-5 in conference. And listen, it's been a very difficult season for the Tigers. The announcement of Coach O and him getting fired and all this kind of stuff. We'll cover this and break down this game. We'll also give our thoughts on who is the upcoming coach. So with that being said, let's hear from Coach Orgeron. And we'll bring Mozzi in, my co-host for the show, right after hearing what old man Coach O had to say about this victory. Here's Coach O.
What's up, guys? How about them Tigers, baby? Y'all not excited? Hey, man, I just can't say enough about a football team. Can't say enough about the 19 seniors. And, you know, we always just kept on talking, keep on fighting, something good's going to happen. And what a way to end that game. Those guys kept on fighting. They believed in each other. Our backs were against the wall. We were down. They kept on fighting. I just can't say enough about the seniors, about our team, and just about a big win over Texas A&M. They're a good team. Those guys fought back when knew it was going to be a battle. Very proud of our football team. Any questions?
You have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you, please. Do you feel like you've left this program in better shape than when you took over?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that. I know this. I told them how proud I am of them. They fought, and something good is always going to happen when you fight like that. So,
Coach, what were you thinking watching the final drive? Your
I
guys?
thought something good was going to happen. You know, I just felt that we had enough time. We had done so many 2-minute drills over the course of the year that our guys were prepared. I just felt like something good was going to happen. We kept on making play after play after play. And we kept on fighting.
I know it's so quick after the game, but just, you know, how are you going to remember this team and, you know, just the
fight
finish?
You know, fortitude, you know, backs against the wall, kept on fighting, stuck together. Think about all those guys that had injuries, man, guys like Sonny Fanu and all stepping up, Micah Baskerville, Damone Clark, Neil Farrell, Max Johnson. Just think about all the guys that fought, man. Cordell Thomas playing tonight, young Garrett Dellinger playing at tackle. He struggled a little bit, but fighting. They stuck together. The coaching staff stuck together. So I'm just so happy about that.
Ed over here. Y'all almost beat Alabama. You almost beat Arkansas.
Yeah.
There was so many close losses and just frustrations and disappointments this season. How much did it feel like something was almost released, like frustration released by that touchdown there at the end?
Our team needed it. And, you know, we just kept on fighting. Just kept on practicing. The guys kept on being early in the meetings, kept on working. Nobody ever blinked. Next guy stood up. There was no bitching, whining, or moaning about nothing. Our guys kept on fighting together. And something good's bound to happen when you do that.
Coach defensively holding A&M to under 300 yards, 3 of 14 on third downs. Just how well did y'all execute the game plan, and even in the second half when they started to get some yards?
It's something we started in open day. We went through the 3-4. We started blitzing. I'll give Durante and the defensive coach a lot of credit. We got out of the meeting room. We went through a bunch of walkthroughs. We made sure that we adjusted right. We took the pads off this week. Our guys were fresh, ready to play. And just give the credit to the players, man. They learned it. They liked it. And it's something I wish we would have started earlier. But, it's something for them to grow on.
Ed in the back here. All season we've been waiting for the offense, to come through with their end. How much are you happy for them, I guess, that they were able to kind of contribute and really pull this off?
I really am happy because, there's some dissension going on in the locker room and stuff like that. And guys were getting pissed, and I didn't blame them, stuff like that. And I told them, hey, put it on me. But again, they came up with a big play tonight at the end when our defense really needed them to make the big play. And so I think that you got a happy group in that locker room, and just happy for them.
All right, that's Coach O with some of his post-game thoughts after LSU victoriously came away with the win 27-24. They had the lead and relinquished it. Texas A&M was able to get on top of that thing, and LSU fought, and then on the back end scored a touchdown there to put them ahead 27-24, finishing the season at 6-6. We'll get into bowl projections and all that. We're gonna bring in our co-host Uncle Mozzi to the stream. Uncle Mozzi, welcome on in, my friend.
How you doing? What's going on, my brother?
Everything's good, my friend. You heard old Coach O break it down, man, about the game and how the guys played and responded to some adversity. What do you think about LSU's win yesterday, bro?
Well, I think their win was it was due. I think they've been real close, as he touched on. As the report, I don't remember his name quite offhand. He touched on in the press conference. They were close to beating Alabama. They were close to beating Arkansas. They did beat Florida. They did beat A&M. Was LSU a bad team? No, they weren't a bad team. I think that the early quarterback controversy that came through, I think that hurt. I think it's a quarterback lead. I just think that Max was not ready for the role, as we talked about at the beginning of the season before it even started. He was not ready for this stage, SEC gameplay in and out. And, we did have the one UCLA trap game that I thought was a trap game, playing in the Rose Bowl. West Coast teams we don't do, well against. And I think that set the bar for what was a pretty blah season for LSU. Pretty vanilla season. It had its moments. I think that the defense, the traditional defense that we're used to seeing from LSU wasn't quite there. I think the offense that we had gotten spoiled with in 2019, we wanted a replay and a redo of that. And unfortunately, not only did LSU as a team suffer, Coach O himself also suffered, which, he had his own off the field antics in and around the locker room. That kind of rubbed people the wrong way. But for what he is, he's a recruiter. He's a good recruiter. He did his job really well. He served us well. He brought us a national championship. I just wish things would have ended a little bit better. I wish we would have been just a little bit more patient and allowed Max to get that 1 year under his belt, allowed some of the fresher talent coming in, via the talent portal or just graduating seniors on a high school level through the commits that we have, because we do have a top 5 class coming in at the moment. That's Coach O's work. We won a national title. We had a historic season. We're still bowl eligible for what is worth. We haven't missed a bowl since the 99 season. Jerry Donaldo's last year before Nick Saban took over. So, we have followed suit throughout the tradition of LSU football, especially in the age of the BCS. We have a winning football program. Was it what we were used to? Is what we wanted to see, especially after being spoiled in 2019? Probably not. But, these things take time. You have to understand this is the SEC. So Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Florida, we all going to get a split, from these these powerhouse Power State schools, the Floridas, the Ohio State, the Big Ten still retains a lot of their people. So I mean, and now we're bringing in 2 more people into the fold, into the SEC in Texas and Oklahoma. So the talent diversity, even with Alabama, as you saw this year, they were a 1-loss team, which should have been a 2-loss team, given the game that I saw in the Iron Bowl last night that went to 4 overtimes with a second-string quarterback that was hobbled in on Auburn's side, and TJ Finley. So, you know, I don't know. I just think that over the next 4 or 5 years, I think it's going to be all about recruitment. As we touched on in the beginning of the season as well, you know, when these kids got to choose out of Miami or LA or coming to Baton Rouge, you know, it's just tough. And you need a guy that could sell that vision, that could sell that dream. Coach O was that guy. Will the replacement, whether that's Lincoln Riley, who came out and vehemently said he's not going anywhere, whether it's the dream Joe Brady coming back into the NFL, which I seriously doubt happens. I just don't know where we go from here. I don't know where we go, but wherever we went, I think that it was just I think it was bigger than the dubs and the losses when it came to Coach O. I think it was a lot to do with his representation of what he did with his marriage and his new girlfriend immediately after winning the national championship. I think that it was some of the unorthodox, quirky ways that he expresses himself to the players. Sometimes I even think it's the way he talks in his voice. I don't really know, but it was just a really weird situation, and they were so angry at Coach O. They don't even want him coaching the bowl game after he, you know, ultimately coached them to a 500 season and beat the 15th ranked team in the country that nobody picked him to win. You know, the athletic department and the faculty and the staff in the athletic department at LSU and the AD, I don't know what transpired, but they were so angry with Coach O. I think it went beyond just the field's performance. I mean, why not let the guy finish out the bowl game? Are you that that contractualist obligated or by the letter of the law? I don't really think so, because there've been too many loopholes in LSU going back and from the Honey Badger and notes for the AD and the athletic department and the staff at LSU just to be that on top of everything where they can't even let him coach a bowl game. So for me, that signifies how much more deeply rooted that this was than just a performance issue.
Yeah, you said a mouthful there, and the reality is, I mean, I was at the segue from the game itself to the potential bowl game. Ed Orgeron will not coach in LSU's bowl game. Quote, I'm packing to go to Destin, end quote. For Orgeron, as he says, he's done. It's over with. So let's get into the article right here. It says that back when LSU's bowl chances appeared slim and none, Orgeron described blue skies and white beaches as an ideal setting for his final game coaching the Tigers. Now, Orgeron is headed to the beach with his girlfriend, but not at any official capacity. He says, I'm packing to go to Destin. I'll be there tomorrow. So Orgeron will not coach LSU in the bowl game, he announced following Saturday's 27-24 win over the number 15 ranked Texas A&M in Death Valley. The Tigers are 6-6, 3-5 in the SEC. They dead last in the West. Took the lead over the Aggies, who 8-4 with 20 seconds left in the clinch to clinch the bowl, and they did just that. The decision was a mutual part on Orgeron's athletic director Scott Woodard and LSU administration. He says, I told the guys I wish them okay. I'm not going to sit here and coach when there's another guy coming in to be the head coach this week or the week after that. I'm not going to do that. This is my team, and as soon as they got a new head coach, I was going to go. Offensive line coach Brad Davis will be LSU's interim coach for the bowl game. A Baton Rouge native, Davis was hired away from Arkansas in June. Quote, I hope they go to a great bowl, Ryan said. I know that Brad Davis is going to do a great job, and whoever the new coach is, I wish them all the luck in the world. I'm always going to be an LSU Tiger fan, end quote. Orgeron told LSU's players about his departure in the post-game locker room. He joined them on the north end zone one last time for the alma mater, savoring his final moments on the field at Tiger Stadium. So there it is. And all of the other stuff that's involved around that nope, they won't coach O gone Pacone, and they could have let him coach the bowl game, but they're just trying to get away from him as soon as they possibly can to move on. And speaking about moving on, Mozzi, let's talk about the potential coaches who we talking about. We was talking about this prior to the show starting is the fact that, and I've been lamenting this point, is that the fact that this squad, LSU choosing to do this prior to getting everything going with these you're getting rid of Coach O so soon. I mean, after what was it, the Ole Miss game, I want to say, during that period of time when all this foolishness started to happen. But I was leery about firing him or letting him know that he was going to be fired so soon, as opposed to just waiting to do it at the end of the year like most clubs would do. They ultimately decided to do this early on because I felt that if he would have started beating teams like Alabama and Arkansas and all that kind of stuff, it'd have made it difficult on the decision to fire him, and to a degree would have made it look bad on him. Now that, and reason why I was also saying that is because if you keep that a secret all the way to the end of the year, then turn them loose like you're seeing people doing coaches now, that would have more of a shock in our value when you grab a Lincoln Riley or whoever else you see fit. But knowing that you did that so early on gave all of these other schools who could have been potential coach hires an opportunity to give out 10-year contracts to guys there because they see LSU lurking about. So, I mean, they just made the job harder. But anyway, let's talk about that. LSU head coaching candidates and their buyouts. Who's an ideal candidate for them? We know the hottest name now was Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma, who mentioned that he just said in another statement that he is not going to LSU. This is what they said. Now, what they do is a whole nother thing. Jimbo Fisher had a whole little spiel about how he hunts in Texas and Texas is his home. He'll be a fool and all this kind of stuff to leave. And it looks, in being that Coach O beat Jimbo on the way out, that gives an extra special layer to it. And then there's ULL's Billy Napier, who does have some experience coaching, but a lot of people think Napier is more in line to Florida as opposed to LSU. And he's not exactly the splash hire that they were saying that they wanted to get. And then of Baylor's Dave Aranda, which would be a good candidate, but Baylor's working on an extension to keep Aranda in Baylor. Ole Miss's Lane Kiffin, I don't know if he mentioned anything about that. Iowa State Matt Campbell, a lot of people don't want to see him here. He would not be considered a splash candidate. And then, of course, you look at other guys like Mario Cristobal there to be a potential coach as well. Matt Rule, who's currently with Carolina. People thinking Rule might get fired and won't end up going back to college. I don't know about that. And these are some of the candidates listed. So, I mean, let's talk about it. Really, potentially, who is the guy who gets this? Let's go over that. Let's talk about that. Who's the potential guy to end up with this job?
Well, honestly, if it's me, it just depends. If it's me, I know you just had a laundry list of traditional guys, but we had this conversation so many times. I personally do not want any of the older traditional blue blood college coaches in. What I would personally like, if it was me, I'm like we discussed several times before, I'm gonna try to get Joe Brady back from Carolina, or I'm gonna go get Leftwich. And here's why. I'm gonna go get Leftwich because I believe in Leftwich's playability or play calling ability, and he's already proven that he can call NFL caliber plays on a professional level. He had a dope collegiate career at Marshall. A little left to be desired as far as an NFL career, but he's close enough in proximity and race to a lot of the recruits that's coming in. I think he'd be a great fit. I think there are too many other African-American coaches in line in the NFL for that has seniority over him for him to ever become anything higher than a coordinator on that level. I think his ultimate destination goal is to be an NFL coach. I think that I think that destiny will be further fulfilled, him taking a big-time collegiate program under his wing and then bouncing back to the NFL, than him trying to climb up the ladder from an offensive coordinator standpoint. That's just my take on it. I would definitely, if it's me, I'm definitely going to get Leftwich or trying to put an offer on the table for Leftwich to snake him from Tampa Bay. And I'm going to use those talking points. And I'm going to send somebody African-American to him to let him know, listen, you already understand they've blackballed black coaches for years in the NFL. They've got 4 or 5 of them in waiting. How do you plan on leapfrogging them, even though You're coming from a position of power with Tom Brady, which can also hinder you because what are they gonna automatically say? It was easy for you to call those plays because you had the greatest quarterback of all time to call them for. So it's gonna water his value down. If it's me, I'm going to get Leftwich. He checks off all the boxes. He's close enough in age. He's a really good play caller, and that's who I'm going to get if I'm the AD over at LSU.
So the call for you is Byron Leftwich to come in to be the head coach of the LSU Tigers.
Absolutely.
Bring him. What about the recruiting potential? Is I mean, that's
the recruiting potential. I am an.
Is that the splash hiring that they're looking for?
Huh?
Would that be a splash hiring that they're considering?
You a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator. You call the plays for Tom Brady. Are you serious? Why not? We know that Leftwich's ultimate goal is to get an NFL team to be the head coach. He's too young to do it at this point, and there's too many other African American coaches in waiting to get that spot. It's going to be another decade before he sees his own NFL team, if at all. That's just fact. So if I'm him, I'm going to say, wait, I can go to Baton Rouge. I'm definitely going to get a bigger contract, and I'll have full reign of an SEC powerhouse that I'm solely responsible for digging out the basement. LSU can definitely use a different look, especially being more progressive, because it's time to get some of the older white, rich blue blood faces out of that program and get some new blood in. Think about everybody we've had since Jerry DiNardo. We haven't had a progressive coach since. It's 2021. Jerry DiNardo stayed, 5-6 years? So from 95 to 2021, Coach O has been the most progressive coach we had, and we see the type of season that he delivered. The issue with Coach O, he needed some monitoring. He needed an adult to be in the room with him while he was doing the hoorah, let's come aboard type. That's what he does. He's a great recruiter. So that's where I think that we should go. It probably won't happen, but if it's me, that's who I'm going for.
What about let's go down a list of other potential candidates that will fit what LSU doing. A lot of people are saying Billy Napier, even though a lot of people feel like Napier wouldn't be the splash hire, but you won't get the splash hire simply because of how LSU handled the situation. They put their business out about what they were going to do way too early. It made the coach a lame duck coach when they could have held all that to the back end of the season. But Deion Sanders is a name that a lot of family members are throwing up to this. I don't know how seriously, the LSU be looking at a guy like Deion Sanders. I don't think it'll be Leftwich or it'll be Sanders, to be quite honest with you. I mean, at the end of the day, it might end up being a guy. I don't know. Some of the original ones that people were talking about that were out there, whether it was the Lincoln Rileys, most of these guys have already said that they're not either interested or they're not going to take the job because their schools have in turn offered them extensions to stay where they are because they know LSU and Florida, not to mention Florida, who got rid of Mullen, is also in the in league to try to land a coach. So realistically speaking, outside of the Byron Leftwich or Deion Sanders of prime time, who's going to be the coach? Let's hear from the Tiger Talk family members who they think. Youngblood said ESPN just announced Florida is hiring Billy Napier. Yeah, I know. I just made mention of that early on, that he was destined to end up going toward Florida. They were looking at Napier going there. So, I mean, the reality is who's left for LSU? Let's talk about that, Mozzi, because that's a big step going ahead. When you talk about we should be fine as long as the transfer portal doesn't tear up the team. But the reality is you don't have a team without a football coach, and LSU stuck its foot in its mouth early on to try to make separation between them and Coach Orgeron to the point where now they've kind of doomed themselves because some of the names that they were looking at, these guys are guys that are not either interested in the team or not. So Florida moved on and got who they got. And a lot of people keep saying Smart Money says Lincoln Riley is the coach. And I'm looking at articles saying Lincoln Riley denies leaving Oklahoma to coach the Tigers. So, I mean, this is it's a lot of back and forth stuff going on here between the coaches search, but I don't know. I don't know. Jimbo Fisher said it wasn't him. So who else is out there to make it's not going to be Franklin from Penn State They're about to give him some big fat money. So what other potential splash candidates, realistically speaking, is left for LSU to grab?
And again, this is why I tell you, I think that the splash hire has got to come from another direction. We can't look for a splash hire from traditional sources. Our splash hire has got to come in the form of new forward thinking, a new forward thinking program. It's time to get rid of some of these old fogies and get somebody in there, man, that's going to be innovative, that's going to understand the newer player, the new age game. It's just
that.
I already told you who I thought it was. I gave you two choices.
It's not Leftwich, Mozzi. Come on.
I gave you. You got to get a Leftwich like Joe Brady-esque type of person, man, to fill those shoes. That's just the bottom line. Now, everybody in the chat, they can not like it. They can talk about that. But like again, like I said in the very beginning of the season, there's only one way you're gonna win this, and it's with good quarterback play. And oh man, you didn't get a guy chance. I say, listen, bro.
The man had a spectacular season, by the way. Did you know it? Did you see his numbers on there?
Listen,
if you don't know, I'll be happy to put them up on the screen.
Right, but you also when you're pulling up those numbers, you also got to pull up when those numbers were achieved. Was it trash time, empty calorie points? Was it garbage time yards? What was it? So see, I know people like you and people like you, because I know y'all try to manipulate and twist the narrative so it'll fit what you got going on. Especially,
I have no manipulation going on, sir. I'm merely
when y'all debating the Swami. So
I am now you're not Mozzi no more. You the Swami. Now this is Swami talking right now.
Yeah, right. I'm the Swami talking.
Right. I just want to know who I'm talking to. Okay, the Swami is talking.
Yeah, you're talking to the beast. Yeah, the Swami. So
okay.
If it's me, I'm going after somebody young. I'm going after somebody vibrant. I'm going after somebody that could change the narrative of how not only our team plays, but the perception of our team. I mean, and I don't understand why we can't identify that. If we look at the success, okay, even if you look at the success Michigan had when they brought Harbaugh in, it could be a Harbaugh type coach. I'm just saying, as far as from the SEC, especially the perception of the SEC and the South as a whole, it would be a breath of fresh air to get a young African-American quarterback at the helm. When has it been done? I'll wait.
Well, let's see. What's up, Damian, brother Tori, GMKev, True, and the rest of the family members tuned in the broadcast. Damian throws out Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy would be another good one. That'd be another great choice.
So I get your point. To grab an African American coach that's doing what he's doing at the professional level and bring him in at the college, and let him.
It fits the bill. It fits the bill on both sides. It fits your affirmative action bill that LSU could definitely need. Let me tell you something about predominantly white, traditionally big white power schools. You can always use an affirmative action get out of jail free card in your pocket, especially in cancel culture that we know of is 2021. So, I mean, just understanding that alone, I'm definitely going that direction. I'm going to get I'm going to bring in a guy that can have my team looked at in a certain light and is, doing his thing. And at the end of the day, I got to bring in somebody that's going to be able to recruit 17 and 16 and 18-year-old guys, African-American guy who largely plays collegiate sports, NCAA Division I football, African-American youth, okay? Who best to connect with African-American youth than what? African Americans. And then Eric Bieniemy is not that far out of touch and not that much older than these guys. A lot of these guys, they're still relatable. They still listening to they both listen to rap. They both probably dress fairly the same. By the way, shout out. I want to say rest in peace to Virgil Abloh. He just came over the Twitter wire that he passed away fighting a private battle with cancer. I just don't want to share that with everybody while we were talking about different things of culture. So he can, Eric Bieniemy has Instagram. I'm sure you bring in Leftwich, he has an Instagram. He had, it's just a different vibe when you have that. We saw that with Sean Payton when he came to the Saints. We got rid of all these traditionalist type coaches and brought in a young, offensive minded, Sean Payton that was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you saw what the success we had within the first 5 years of bringing him in. Every time, we have to reinvent ourselves, and we've been doing we got Jerry Donaldo, We move on from him to Nick Saban. We move on from Nick Saban to who was after Nick Saban? Help me out. Who came in and got fired after Nick Saban? Les Miles. And after Les Miles got Coach O.
Yeah.
Coach O was fairly progressive. I'll give him that. But at the end of the day, I think he was kind of really weird and wacky progressive. He wasn't the type of Mike Tomlin, the Eric Bieniemy, Byron Leftwich. He wasn't that type of innovation, you know. So I mean, that's just some of the names that I would think, you know. And Eric Bieniemy was a good one. I hadn't thought of that one. I don't know who came up with that one, but that's another really good one. You'll probably have a lot better luck grabbing him anyway, due to the fact I just don't think I think his contract is a lot more free and limbersome than Leftwich. I don't know. We'd have to research that, but I think either one of those would be great. Or if you could snake Joe Brady, and it does, you know. Again, my affirmative action / fit the bill pick would be the young, hot, fresh African American offensive coordinator or assistant coach coming from the collegiate level or rising up above the ranks. Coming from the professional level or rising above the ranks in the collegiate level. That would be my pick. But I'm not closed-minded to a Jim Harbaugh or a Joe Brady type of hire. I'm not against that either. But whatever it is, it's got to be not only a splash hire, but it's got to be something that changes the entire culture of LSU football as we know it.
All right. Well, I'm not mad at Eric Bieniemy, and Damian is the one that gave that pick. Big ups to Damian. He also said Bieniemy's from New Orleans, so that would make some sense to get him with the championship acumen that he has. I just don't know if he's a real candidate. I don't think he's a candidate to be looked at by the LSU. I mean,
why not?
I don't know. We're gonna have to see what Woodard's looking at, because he destroyed his whole coaching search by revealing the fact that he lame ducked this team. He destroyed his coaching search by letting this information out way too early. That's why I kept telling them you don't do it like that early during the season. Now everybody had an opportunity to prepare for what you're doing, because they're all giving out the potential candidates that could have been there, giving them contract extensions and pretty lofty ones at that. So, I mean, Florida looked like they'll end up with Napier. LSU still floating around, because the candidates that they are looking at are not interested in them, because they are getting these contract extensions to stay where they are.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if Leftwich is a candidate. Wouldn't be a bad call. I know I hear a banner about some of the latest articles have Stoops, Mark Stoops, the coach of the University of Kentucky Wildcats, as a potential guy that he's hearing ramblings of. That would not be considered a splash hire in my book as well. So I don't know what splash hire Woodard was talking about, but at the end of the day, I just don't see it. Unless one of these coaches we talking about who chose to deny LSU now, then do a complete 180 and says, yes, I'm a LSU coach. So I don't see anything of that happening. Let's move on from that, because we'll do some shows down the line looking at more coaching candidates for LSU. The timetable, Florida did not plan around. They went right into it and got who they wanted to be the coach.
Yep.
Get rid of Mullins and Nice Napier. Now the next thing LSU has to do, hopefully it's not a long, drawn-out process for who they want. We'll see. But here's the 2021 bowl projections for LSU, projected to play in the Gator Bowl. A few of them. This is from John Butler over at college football there. Fansided. Now, this is what he had written. LSU football fans have a holiday bowl game to look forward after upsetting Texas A&M, and it's just a couple of projections. So do you have, after stunning Texas A&M to get to 6-6, LSU football team is now bowl eligible despite being Orgeron's last game at the helm in Baton Rouge. The Bayou Bengals found a way to get it done to send the former head coach out on the top as a winner, beating former offensive coordinator, which Jimbo Fisher, with all the rumors swirling of him switching SEC West allegiances, making this all more better with an unexpected bowl game coming. Where would LSU fans congregate? Here's a couple of the projections. LSU projection: Tigers versus Penn State in the Music City Bowl. Two bowl games that make the most sense for LSU are the Music City Bowl or the Gator Bowl. If they were to play in the Music City Bowl, LSU is likely to face a Big Ten team like Penn State. If it's the Gator Bowl they're headed to, then LSU would end up facing an ACC team like North Carolina or Virginia Tech. Now, the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl will take place at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee on December the 30th. Now, while LSU has the record to go to a lesser bowl like the Birmingham Bowl or the Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa, there is no denying that the Tigers fan base will travel, whether that's to Nashville or Jacksonville. Tiger Nations will follow. Though the long-awaited head coaching search will be coming to an end very soon, getting 6-6 means LSU has one more game left to play in the 2020 season. Despite the mediocre records, a Penn State versus LSU bowl game matchup is one of intrigue. Okay, so the two bowls, Music City Bowl, and we talk about the Music City Bowl, Mozzi. We talked about the Gator Bowl. Where do you think we go? Where do we going? What bowl do you think they're going to?
Well, I mean, if it's me, I'm trying to get the one closest to New Year's Day. So when is?
Because it's on the 30th.
I
think the Music City Bowl that just listed is on the 30th of December.
Okay, what about the Gator Bowl?
I'll have to look that up.
Okay, because I mean, what we do know, I mean, as far as a money grab thing, anyway. I mean, neither bowl is prestigious, but what we do know is bowls that are played closer to New Year's Day obviously draw bigger sponsorship or ad revenue dollars, so the teams get paid more for those bowls. But I mean, at this point, that's the only thing you're really playing for as a money grab. I don't think either bowl really does anything for you. I think Penn State would be I think that they're fairly matched as far as experience. I think they both are really talented teams, or like a year or two away, or maybe a piece or two away from making a legit national title run. So I mean, I think the matchup would be cool, and the bowl, obviously, for both schools would just be a thing of a money grab,
Yeah, we'll see, man, how it all plays. But they're saying either the articles are projecting it'll be either down between two, which would be either the Gator Bowl that we have the Music City Bowl that we have up on screen there, and then another one is the Gator Bowl, which will, let me see if I can look up the date for that, which will be the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl out in Jacksonville. Let me see if I can see a date on when that is supposed to happen. So I mean, they lucky to get any damn bowls, to be honest.
Absolutely. Cereal bowl. They'd give them a cereal bowl, they'd had to take it.
Yeah, it would that would definitely be something that that these guys here, man, that they really really lucky to even have that, man. But let me see if I can find. I'm trying to find a date on December the 31st, Mozzi. For the 2021. So you got one of them on the 30th, which is the Music City Bowls on the 30th, and the other one is on the 31st.
I'm gonna do the 31st for 500, Alex.
31st, so that'll be the Gator Bowl.
Gator Bowl. Gator Bowl.
Right. So there you go, fam. It's between one or the other, Music City Bowl or the Gator Bowl. Y'all take y'all pick. Y'all let me know which one.
Oh my God, that's
you know what? Yeah, I'll tell you one. The way we played, bro, we need to go to the toilet bowl. That's the bottom line.
They gonna get you. They gonna get you. Well, if I'd have said they'd have got me, they're not gonna get you. They're not gonna do you nothing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I just said the way we played this year, we deserve to go to the toilet bowl. I mean, listen. So, with that being said, fam, that's gonna be the end of the broadcast for this one, man. Is the fact that LSU was able to come out of its own way and be able to handle it when they got a regular season win at the back end of the season, 27-24 over Texas A&M behind the play. The quarterback defense was there, but really great play by Jaray Jenkins from the wide receiver position.
Single-handedly beat those people, by the way.
Yep. He was absolutely amazing. Big ups to Jaray Jenkins. He turned in a magnificent performance and also had a really big catch at the back end to be able to kind of take this thing. He finished with 8 catches for 169 yards. Kid had 2 touchdowns in the matchup, averaged 21.1 yards per reception. So for the 6'1", 200-pound Jaray Jenkins, he put in work, and that was a really big thing to help Tigers keep it going. And now, like I said, we're looking at those 2 bowls according to projections, and we'll see where it all falls, because LSU will fast be approaching, looking for a coach over the next 3 to 5 days. Some people saying it'll be real soon, within the next 3 days. We'll see where it all lands up at. So anyway, big ups to the fam. I appreciate y'all for joining us for this Sunday episode. Well, it's always Sunday episode of Tough Tiger Talk. This is the season finale, regular season finale. We'll be back with the bowl game breakdown, and also coaching news and all that kind of stuff. We'll have all that. We'll bring in Kevin for a stream probably this upcoming week. We'll let you know. So with that being said, fam, I'm going to be locking out on that. Just a brief shout out to the fam. Thank y'all for tuning in on this one. And just a little programming note is that the TSC radio show, pro radio show, will be airing every Wednesday, family. So the radio show, you won't be able to hear it on YouTube, but we'll be doing a radio show every week starting this upcoming Wednesday. And of course, when December comes, we'll be doing a Saturday morning stream for TSC Unleashed. So that all starts. And I know Uncle Mozzi is really happy to hear that because TSC Unleashed was one of his favorite shows.
Y'all, my thing, yeah, I like my screenplays that we just refuse to do, but whatever.
Screenplayers is coming, Uncle Mozzi, I promise you. All right, so with that being said, Fabs, much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all. And we'll talk to y'all later with more LSU news. Much love to you guys. And we out. Go Tigers.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.